it's an interesting situation because this morning, when the first stories were coming out, around 10 o'clock is when the first Buckeye alert was sent out. Much like Toledo, the University of Toledo has that text alert system. They have the same sort of system at the Ohio State University where they can text all students and let them know of a major situation like this, and that's exactly what they did. They reported it as an active shooter situation, including the line run, hide, fight. There's a particular psychology to that report, to that sentence, as well as to everything else that the university did in their response. And joining us to talk about it, Michele Byington, joining us from uslawshield.com. US Law Shield is a website where they discuss security issues and the like. And Byington is a program attorney. Michele, thank you for joining us. It's the Scott Show. My name is Shaggy. I've been sitting in for Scott this afternoon. Thanks for joining us as we talk about this tough situation down in Columbus.
Oh, perfect. Thanks for having me.
Now, the one sentence I keep seeing a lot of people react to is in that first Buckeye alert: run, hide, fight. And apparently this is verbiage directly from the U.S. Department of Homeland Security, and it is basically their preferred messaging towards people who are in an active shooter / lockdown situation. Run if you can, hide if you must, fight if you need. Can you expand a little bit more on how that works and the logic behind all that?
Yeah, so run, hide, fight is a really fantastic method if, God forbid, you're in one of these scenarios where there is an active shooter or there is somebody trying to do harm to you and others in public. So number one, run. If you have the luxury of getting out of that situation, then that needs to be your first plan of action, because the less targets, then the less potential for casualties. So a lot of people who, for instance, go to a restaurant, they refuse to have their backs to the entrance because they want to see if there is a potential threat coming through the front door. So when you sit down, just be aware of the exits, and if something were to happen, where would I go? Where would I run from? And so for this Ohio instance, as soon as, because people reported hearing gunshots, if you were to hear gunshots, then you just need to hightail it the opposite direction. And when you get tired, you need to keep running until you are 100% out of harm's way. Now, if you don't have that luxury of running, the second option is to hide. So if you are sitting in a classroom, hide under a desk, hide behind a door, lock yourself in a closet, turn the lights off, sort of a thing, because out of sight, perhaps out of mind, and potentially the bad guy will keep moving to find a different target. It is recommended that if you are able to hide, to find cover. And cover means that you are hiding behind something that will stop a bullet. So, for instance, if you are outside and you see a concrete pillar, go get behind that concrete pillar because it will be able to withstand gunshots. Also, a popular place for cover is behind the engine block of a car. Don't just open the car door and be behind the car door.
That only works in the movies.
Incorrect, because that bullet will penetrate past that door.
I've seen Mythbusters. I know that one.
Okay, good. Then you are well ahead of most of us then.
Right.
So if you don't have that luxury of hiding either, then your last resort is to fight. And you have got to fight like your life depends on it, because guess what? It does. So many of us like to carry handguns around. I carry one around every day. So that is my preferred tool that I would use. Now, what if you're in a gun-free zone, like, a college campus? What do you do? Find any item around you that could potentially hurt another individual, whether that be a chair. Throw a chair at them. Throw or a letter opener, for instance. My favorite thing to look out for is a fire extinguisher. Find a fire extinguisher and then shoot that thing off at the bad guy, because you're going to blind them, you're going to surprise them, and then hopefully you'll be able to overtake that individual and take their weapon from them and then hold them for law enforcement. And
after you spray the fire extinguisher at them, then you can just hit them with it, because those things are heavy too.
Oh, swing for the fences, baby! Absolutely.
Now we got lucky at OSU when the attack began. There must have been a campus security nearby. The story was initially that that the fire alarm had been pulled, or a gas leak or something like that, and so the building was evacuated. Campus fire and security were already on the site when this attack took place, and so with that there, the officer engaged the attacker within minutes and brought him down nearly immediately. But as you mentioned, in a gun-free zone like a college campus, sometimes that simply isn't the case where you're going to have access to that kind of security that quickly. What is the for yourself and the people at U.S. Law Shield? What is your preferred thought process? In is this a matter of getting campus carry codified into law, where people who are concealed carry permit holders are allowed to bring with them, so that in fact, if an event takes place, they are there and able to take care of a situation if necessary?
Absolutely. So I'm down here in Houston, Texas, and Texas just recently passed campus carry where they will allow license holders to carry a handgun concealed on their college campus. Now, I believe that if a bad guy were to come into a classroom here in Texas, there is a high likelihood that one of the students there does lawfully possess a handgun. They do have a license to carry, and they will use it if necessary. And that would act as a huge deterrent, because these people, we have to remember, these people are cowards. Number one, they will basically just fall when there is any sort of pressure put on them. And two, they target these gun-free zones. So if we're able to the gun-free zone area, then that will act as a huge deterrent. I mean, 90% of these and I know this wasn't an active shooter in Ohio, but if we looked at active shooter scenarios, 90% of those took place at a gun-free zone, and you have to ask yourself why. And at the end of the day, it's because these people are cowards and they don't want resistance and they want a high body count. So that is who they will target. So if we're able to minimize that opportunity for them, the better for all of us. No,
I'm not a concealed carry permit holder. I don't own a gun, not because not because I'm against them. I'm not a fan, but I support people who do. And so for those of you who are active carriers and active concealed carry permit holders, is it a matter of contacting state representatives and asking for this to get put in place?
Yeah, that's exactly right. You need to call your state reps and advocate that you want campus carry in your area.
All right. Michele Byington from U.S. Law Shield. What's the best way to get in touch with you and the people at U.S. Law Shield?
Yeah, come to uslawshield.com. And also I would advocate that any of your listeners who want more information on the Run, Hide, Fight method, go to the U.S. Law Shield YouTube page. And if they just put in the little playlist, Run, Hide, Fight, there are many videos that your people can check out and get more information on this preferred method. All
right. Michele Byington from U.S. Law Shield, thanks for joining us here on News Radio 1370 92.9 FM.
Thank you.